All right. Example 5, write and evaluate an expression. So this is basically the same thing that we did just a second ago, evaluating an expression, but we're going to have to write it first, which is stuff from the last section. So you can see the main core of what we're doing is something from this section. It assumes you already know what you were supposed to do last section. So again, just like all word problems, you're trying to do the things you just learned, but now with context. Environmental studies. Science on a Sphere, SOS, it's a program through NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. Those are the people that do all the big weather stuff or warnings when there's going to be really bad storms. Demonstrates the effects of atmospheric storms, climate changes, and ocean temperature on the environment. The volume of a sphere is 4/3 of pi multiplied by the radius r to the third power. So right now it hasn't given me any directions on what to do. It's just kind of giving me some context what to go on. But from all that I heard right there, it sounded like the most important part was the volume of a sphere. That's the math part of what's going on, right? So now I'm highlighting that, so then I know when I go to the other problems, the other parts of the problems, I'm probably going to be using that. And I read part A here. Write an expression that represents the volume of a sphere. Well, it's a good thing I just highlighted it, because that's exactly what we're going to do. And we're going to take the verbal expression, highlighted in pink there, and write it in an algebraic expression. So the volume of a sphere, right? So its volume is 4/3. 4/3. That is a fraction of pi. Pi being that math symbol, right? Usually we just do 3.14. That's good enough. I usually just have it 159, 3.14, 159. It keeps going on forever. Some people know thousands of decimal places of it. For me, that's all I have ever needed. Most people, 3.14 is the most you need. All right. Multiplied by the radius r. Ooh, it gives me that variable r there. Multiplied by the radius r to the third power. So there is my volume, written in an expression. You might have already known that one too, but it's good to practice translating the written version to the algebraic version. So we've taken care of that. There's our answer there. Find the volume. So what this expression represents is the volume, right? We're going to find a volume now, which means evaluate it, of a 3-foot radius sphere used for SAS. Or SOS. So they have a model sphere for it, but someone's got to build it, so they got to figure out how much plastic goes into it and all that kind of stuff. But really, the core of what's going on here is find the volume of a 3-foot radius sphere. This part almost doesn't even matter, right? We don't even care that it's there really. That just connects it back to the context of what we're doing. But the actual process of what we want, evaluate. A radius that is 3. See, I've got a variable, and now I've got a value for the variable, just like in the last example, example 4. And here, you got sphere, which, hey, we know the expression to represent the volume of a sphere. So 4/3 pi times the radius cubed. And I know my radius is 3. Now, this is definitely where having a calculator can really make your life easy. I'm going to do it by hand, and then I'll show you how you can type this out on a calculator. So I'm going to go 4/3. Then I'm going to substitute pi for 3.14. 3.14. And 3 cubed is 27. Now, the cool thing about a fraction is whenever you've got a whole number, or even a irrational number like pi, it's really divided by 1. So all of these guys, this fraction bar can go over the whole way. And now you can simplify some stuff down. 27 divided by 3 is 9. So I have 4 times 3.14 times 9. And now, if I got a calculator, that's where I'm going to plug it in. I could do one more step. 4 times 9 is pretty easy. That's 36 times 3.14. And let me actually just open up a calculator here real quick. And we'll do 36 times 3.14 equals 113.04. Equals 113.04. So, with these kinds of things, if you checked out one of the blue calculators for me, if you can figure it out, try to figure out how to plug all of that original expression in at once. I won't show that to you right now, but that's something that you can do eventually. I did all the math that I could in my head, really easy, till I got to something that was not going to be fun to do by hand. Then I used the calculator. And there's our answer, 113.04. Now, because it tells us it's feet, and hopefully you remember, but volume should be the unit measure cubed. What I'm going to do is I'm going to write this all out in a sentence here. This is like the professional way of writing down the result here. The volume, volume of the 3-foot sphere used by SOS is 113.04 feet cubed. And that is the real how you should express that answer. If all you can do is get to that part right now, that's okay. I'm going to teach you how to write these things out later. But if you think about it, I used what the topic was about, SOS. I stated where the problem came from, a 3-foot radius sphere, and then shared my result. So I connected it back to the context, shared some of the information that they gave me, and my result all in one sentence. But if all you can do is get to this part, that's okay for now. All right, that's the end of that section.